Alright, hey guys, I'm starting up part 2 here. Looks like I have everything in order here, club-wise. It's exactly how you saw me start off. The only thing I don't have, so let's switch this real quick. Just to make sure I don't forget. I don't want to waste unnecessary dead balls. I feel like I'm going to forfeit out a lot of, actually I'm probably going to forfeit out 9 tiebreakers. I can already tell you that much. So, I mean, this is crazy. An hour and 5 minutes to play that round. It's just crazy. And it's just getting magnified by, you know, searching for opponents is taking a minute per as well. I mean, I wish they'd just give me a bot after 10 seconds of searching. If you don't find anything in 10 seconds, automatic bot. Like, I'd rather play the tournament like that than like this, how I'm just waiting upon waiting on everything. So let's see what we got here. I mentioned before, with a 10 wind, I do about 7 rings for this drive. This guy could go full topspin on his. Not essential. But he only has a Pak 4, which doesn't have much distance. So you're going to see he's going to land shorter up on this fairway too. So he had more than enough to put his full topspin on there. Basically, I'm going to use his full amount. It's just not going to look full on mine. Because I have an extra 2 bars than he does. So, let's see. Looks like I'm good once again. Not adding power. Nothing too fancy. Hopefully I can get this one just a little bit better than last time. I actually feel like sometimes short makes this hole actually a little bit easier, kind of on my line, because you don't have to cut too much of that rough out with your bend. And one of the reasons I really like Kingsmaker here is for that extra bend. It makes you not have to adjust as much. So that's a nice little thing that you can hopefully get a little bit more honed in for this second shot with keeping that in mind. So again, it's looking like, you know, kind of 5 rings right here would be pretty nice. So I'm going to adjust just for that little bit, whatever the 5 rings might be. And then I'm just going to add an extra 8 or so on top of that. Because I'm using Kingsmaker, Sniper is going to be under 1 per ring, so it's going to be more like 0.9. Let's see if I can get this somewhat. Oh, I hate actually getting that dialed in and then having it not roll in. That really is frustrating. Especially after, you know, as bad as I played that front 9. I was hoping with my adjustment side here that I'd really be able to hone in a little bit better. And you know, some of the low numbers that you guys are seeing, they become possible when you're playing this setup for the second time. This is kind of a perfect example. So you're seeing on my second shot here, my adjustment's a lot better. And you know, I could very well get that to get that to fall. So some of these accounts that you're seeing shoot these ridiculous scores, you know, they're on their second playthrough through Masters. So it's like once you've already seen the 18 holes, and since the winds are almost identical, it's like you, if you've ever seen the movie like, you know, Groundhog Day or Bruce Almighty, you know, where it's like it's more like just you're so good at something because, you know, you do it all the time, kind of. It's kind of one way to think about it. So that's kind of the key, plus understanding the game. You know, the more you understand about the game, the better your adjustments can be for the shots. So you're seeing me, you know, I kind of haven't been playing so much in terms of when it was the first few months of the game, I was playing it all the time. And now you're just seeing more casual play. And as a result, you know, scores start to dwindle a bit. Oh, I forgot I was going to start forfeiting these, so we play faster next time. All right, so let's make sure we get this hole again. Last time I had it coming in too hot. I think one time I played it with a 13 wind and I was short in the bunker. And that last time I think we played it with 14 something. So let's see what they give us this time. Hopefully we can get this round moving a little bit quicker too, because I'm really tired of all this dead time. This game just gets so frustrating, having to play a tournament round that just goes this long. I mean, is this real golf or is this digital golf? Because I feel like the times are starting to get pretty similar. So I'm not a huge fan of the tiebreaker for the tournament. I wish they'd just do away with it. Since you're not earning trophies anyway, who cares if you can only earn coins? They might as well just do away with the tiebreaker in the tournament. So 15 wind now. I'm really terrified at this wind. This is even more wind than I had last time. And you know, last time I was more out here with my aim. I'm going to get even more around the corner. I'm doing 5 bars of backspin. I don't even know if that's going to be enough. Oh, that's too much. That's way too much. I can't believe it. That other shot I hit came in so hot, and I cannot believe that that's as short as it is. That is just crazy to me. This is so frustrating. Because my other one was so far past the hole. And it was over they cleared the bunkers by a ton. So it just doesn't make any sense as to why that hole, it cleared the bunker so much, and then with more wind, And I only took off 3 bars of backspin, so it should have landed farther down the fairway and needed more backspin. Just crazy. Crazy. Just crazy trying to figure out this game sometimes. I feel like it's not consistent. When you see plays like that, I feel like that's just not consistent. It doesn't make any sense that more wind wouldn't have pushed it farther down the fairway and then still cleared these bunkers. That's okay. Let's see if I can just get honed in here. I'm going to do probably 2-ish rings, a little bit over, somewhere in that ballpark. Perfect ball. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Stopped right on the lip. Cannot believe it. Downwind. That didn't have any momentum to roll, even half a roll. Give me a break. That is crazy. So, threw away a stroke there. Roll back in the cup. So, very frustrating. I'm just going to start forfeiting out of these. Speed up the game a bit. Of course, my round is dwindling here a bit. I don't think I'm really going to be competitive, not getting hole 1 and 2 there. Leaving them right by the cup and not in. Frustrating. We are going to still, I'm going to still apply the same, at least for this next hole. I'm going to try to get it, so. Let's go ahead and open this real quick. Speaking of which, I might play one more tiebreaker because of that. So I am going to switch it. This is the Guardian hole, and I'm going to put it back on the eyeball, so I'm ready to go. I recommend doing that. It's a smart play. And this time I'm going to play it more 1.1 per ring as opposed to 1.7 per ring. So you're going to see a much different setup here. This guy's going to go first. I'm going to get to shot copy him. Well, to an extent. I'm not sure he's actually going to put on an eyeball. But that's what I recommend. It makes you have to play way less wind. So with this guy pulling off, he'd have to play at least about 10 rings here. Kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain to play 10 rings and actually expect to make it. So one of the things that if you want to make shots, and you'll see all the good players doing this right now, they'll use wind resistant balls. There's mummy balls and there's eyeballs. So if you're not using an eyeball or a mummy ball in this hole, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage. That's the reason these guys are getting these holes. It's because they're not having to play these crazy winds. Plus, they already know what's happening. And that guy did really good. Still almost got it. Just imagine if he would have used one of those balls and been able to be a little bit more precise, he might have had it. Could be the difference. So you see I'm right towards the end of this club here. So you would expect, you know, it probably is going to play kind of spot on. Eight rings here, so. A little too deep, I think. It might come back. Don't stop right there. At least lip out on the right edge. Jeez. I got it. So, that's really disheartening to me because, you know, I just feel like this round's kind of getting away from me a little bit. And it's annoying to get a shot like that to fall and not have things going your way. Because it's shots like that that project you into the 30s easily. And same with the, you know, you've just seen me miss some close pitches. And you've seen me hit two now bunker shots perfect. Both didn't go in. And it's just like, you know, when I'm clicking, and you know, especially if I've been playing and practicing, I have more of a sense of how many rings to go for, you know, certain shots and certain distances. And I'm just a little bit off my game, and you know, it's just enough to I feel like, you know, especially I just feel right now about 3 shots lower. Like I feel like I should have had those bunker shots, and then I'm sure, you know, something else along the way. Those 2 bunkers, if I go perfect ball out of the bunker, like I expect it to be in. So just kind of can be frustrating when it's not, you know. So let me switch back. You know, I'm going to use the Berserker on this hole. I'm just going to switch to the Berserker now. So same boat as last time. Not really enough wind. I'm hoping this guy either plays it a perfect ball or plays it off the bullseye so I can at least get an aim. So if he's playing a perfect ball, he's not doing it enough, I feel. I would play this more aggressively to the left if it was me. Oh, but he has more curl than I do. He must be playing on a tablet. So that little bit of extra curl might actually help him out. Yep, and you're seeing him, he actually overplayed it because of that. That is crazy. That is crazy. I thought he was for sure underplaying that. And I got a little bit more wind than him, which is good for me. Again, you're going to see me definitely put on max topspin. I'm going to make sure, you know, it's not pulling off the top. Hoping I can play it about here with that 14. And I am playing mine off the left of my bullseye. I see my aim a little bit different. And we both did the same thing. Brutal. So you saw, something just seems a little glitchy there because we were more downwind. And you saw me hit the right half of the fairway last time with a similar wind but less. And then that time I adjust probably 5 to 6 yards worth of extra left there. And it's just way left. Like that doesn't make any sense. It seems like there's something else going on that causes the ball to, it just doesn't seem to be flying consistent in my opinion. So let's see if I can still end up getting this hole. You don't need the longest drive in the world. It kind of is one of the reasons that it kind of annoys me that I'm even going for this shot. But you can get it on the green. Like that's the only reason I'm doing it. So I'm kind of forcing the issue. And you see I'm right towards the north end of claw here. I feel like at this it's probably playing like 1.2 per. Or something, like it's playing something crazy. So I'm going to try to make sure I don't leave it short. That's the first thing I'm going to try to do. And then on top of that, you're going to see me play at least 13 rings here. So this is going to take quite a bit of time to set up. I know this is going to be pushed right now. One time. Hold it. That means I must have been going a little bit too left. I'm glad I was able to get that. I was going a little bit too left with my aim there because I shanked that at about a yard. So, but also on that hole, the way that the green kind of funnels. So even if you are rolling left, it still rolls back right. So I might not have missed by a full yard with that little baby shank, but I was probably close to a yard off on my aim there. And it sucks that I didn't get 2 now, because had I gotten hole 2, I would have been right back in this sucker. I'm still right back in it a little bit, but not quite as much as I would be had that ball on 2 not sat right on the lip. So on this one, I'm going to put my rocket on. One of my friends, he sent me a funny message. When he got to this hole on the back 9, he put this club on. He put his beginner driver on. Can you imagine teeing off with that sucker? I wonder if he could even reach the fairway. I'm sure he probably could, but how are you going to stop it? So I don't even know how he ended up hitting that drive with a beginner driver. I can only imagine. So let's see if we can't try to force the issue here a little bit and get this. So I just want to touch on something real quick about that last shot that I was hitting, just so you guys can kind of get an understanding. So accuracy wise, I think the claw is about 75, I believe. I think it plays 1.5 per ring, yards per ring. So that means your accuracy of the width is 1.5 yards per ring on full club. So when you saw me at full club on a Berserker, that's adding distance in the air beyond 100%. That's basically adding, like, I don't know what it is, maybe 113%. So you're already hitting a 113% shot on a normal ball. So what that's going to do is it's going to change your club numbers. Even though your club is, whatever, 1.5 5 per ring. It's going to play more like 1.3, like I was hitting one there. And that's why you saw me overplaying that. So let's see if I can't get this going towards the hole again. I know you saw me do it with some side spin last time like this. I'm going to try to do something similar. I am going to play at about 7 rings. So you'll see me go over here, about here. Perfect ball. Get it. Ah. So you're seeing much more honed in shots from me. And this just kind of reiterates the point that I was making about, you know, guys that you're seeing put up these scores. So it's not that, you know, they're shooting all these like ridiculous rounds and, you know, they can do it all the time. It's just well practiced, well, you know, great understanding of the game. They understand the game at a high level because, you know, they're constantly learning and they're remembering what happened last time. And you're seeing, you know, I know what happened on the front 9 here. I can make a little adjustment and you're seeing, you know, these shots, they're just going right on the pin. And it's just like well rehearsed is the best way to put it. So don't necessarily think that you're seeing guys cheat on here. It's just more of, you know, multiple attempts plus, and that's kind of the way that it, you know, so the way that it used to be, the wind was random for everybody. People complained. And then you have, now that the wind's regulated and everybody plays the same setup, people are complaining because the scores are too low. It's like there's never going to be a compromise where everybody's happy because the trade-off is now, like you're seeing it, like the trade-off that's happening is that the scores are too low. So let's see if I can't kind of dial this in. I like to play it over here, maybe a little bit of side spin, kind of utilize this slope a bit. See if I can't pull this shot off. About 7 rings. Got a little extra. That great ball is probably going to put it in the rough. I was being too risky with my, I forgot that I was going to forfeit out of these. In fact, let me just go ahead and forfeit now because I'm really trying to cut down this time for you guys. So I got a bunch of holes here. Hopefully I can get another shot or two to fall. So my performance here is kind of meh. So I'm going to switch back to Apocalypse here. I'm going to use Sniper for the shot again. Now, last time you saw me use Kingmaker on this hole. I think I'm going to use the same approach, to be honest with you, because I know what I did wrong. It's like I was not pointing the wind. I ended up coming in way too hot, so I'm going to just make a little adjustment here on the way that I play the wind. as opposed to just switching down to an eyeball. I want to really conserve those eyeballs. You see, the eyeball was able to give me 1 out of 4 hole-in-ones, but it made it possible for me to be 3 out of 4 very close. You saw me play 3 holes extremely well. Well, it would have been probably, you would have probably saw me play 4 holes extremely well, but I was using a ring adjustment of 1.7 the first time on my first playthrough, and then a 1.1 on my second playthrough. So quite a bit adjustment. So that was a waste of an eyeball. Not happy about that one, but everything else, has been pretty good. And I remember what I did on this, and I'm just going to change the way that I play it a little bit. So let me show you kind of one of the things that I'm noticing about this game. I don't know if it's a glitch, but it regards the wind, and it's not a bit as huge of a factor on small winds as it is on large winds. But when you turn it sideways and play, it for some reason it doesn't always seem to add up. And I'm not sure 100% why that is. But what I do know is I've found a quick fix for it. So let me just, I've never, this is the first video that you guys are going to see where I've even touched on this topic. So there's no real other media that I've put out there. But I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm referring to here. And I'm going to try to, so pulling straight down, it would be like here, right? What I find is if you rotate it and pull down more here, this is more accurate of a wind play for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a glitch in their game or what, but it seems to play a little bit more accurate when you pull down the screen and just bring it back left for whatever reason. And you're seeing the speed much more perfect. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't add counter. So since the wind was harder, I should have countered that wind, and I forgot to. But you're seeing that the speed was kind of spot on. So it almost seems like a glitch in their software. The way that where it's pointing isn't exactly where it's going. And I'm not sure why that is the case. Maybe it's just displaying wrong is all it is. But it seems to be when you turn and rotate it just a little bit more inner. It seems to be more spot on with the way that it's supposed to be. And what I mean by that is basically, so you see how it's downwind, right? So on a downwind shot, you're making it point to where it's not going, like where you're pulling down farther back as opposed to the right. So I'm pulling back farther, and you're seeing that wind was spot on. The only thing I didn't do, so I played 12 rings there, but then I forgot, because of the sake of this video, I didn't do any shot correction. I was actually hoping that my third hop was going to land more right on the hole. So I was hoping that I wasn't going to play the slope at all. I was just, but I should have played counter. So that's the only thing you really saw me do wrong there, was not play the counter. And I'm seeing that wind glitch that I'm referring to here consistent across the game. It always happens. So what you've seen me do in my later videos is you're going to see me, I'm not pulling straight down. I haven't been pulling straight down. I've been pulling down slightly inner with my wind. So let me kind of show you that. Let me see if I can. So for example, if this is where I was going to aim, this isn't, as big of a deal. But let's just say, so this one's into the wind. So instead of like pulling down here, since it's into the wind, it's the opposite. So you'd rotate farther this way because it's going to go shorter otherwise. And then you'll do at least 12 yards. So when it's into the wind, it'll land shorter than it usually shows. And then you're seeing it, it's running out kind of perfect. And you're seeing it's still a little short. So you saw me rotate past and then pull down. So when it's into the wind, you need to basically think of it as you need to rotate the way that you're going to add more power when it's into the wind. And then when you're downwind, you need to rotate it to where it's going to take off more power. So think of it like that. And then your wind adjustments are like spot on. Like you're not going to see the ball come in hot, nothing. All right, I have my bag set up the way I want it. Let's go to the next hole. Now I need to go eagle, eagle, eagle to at least put up a half decent number here. So let me try to hone in and focus a little. You've already seen me do this wrong on 1-9. I mean, shoot, I hit it in the bunker and then hit a perfect ball and still didn't make it. I was off by about a ring. It just sucks to hit that perfect ball and, not be able to find the hole. And if I would have had hole 2, we would have been in business with this round. Like I would have actually had a chance, I feel, to actually post a low number. At this point, I'm just kind of shooting for, top 5. You've seen a lot of shots that, I just had that I just wasn't able to pull off. And all of those need to kind of come into focus for you to put up that one good number. Nice looking ball. That's exactly what you want to do. Now I'm going to do mine with a Kingmaker. The advantage for the Kingmaker. And again, I like to point mine left just to be on the safe side here. It seems to kind of cut through here a little bit better. So much better. This is where I've been for every other play, so it's really annoying I hit that bunker. Because for every other play this entire tournament, I've been exactly where you see me now. So it's annoying to throw away those strokes. Let's see if I can make one little correction here. And be able to... So one of the nice things about having Endbringer here is I won't be hopefully out of reach for my Endbringer. That's one of the nice things about people that use Endbringer versus Rapier. Those 2 yards mean a lot to me. So it's kind of really hard for me to give up this club. And you're seeing, I'm right towards the end. I like to pull it down just a touch, just to get it coming in to where it's soft. And that way all I need is that bounce kind of right in front of the hole like that. And then you're going to see me, what I like to do on this is I like to pull past. So instead of going like 11 rings, and you got to be real careful with where your pull is. So instead of going like 11, I'll go more like 13 because of the extra power and shot correction, all that. And there you have it. So you're seeing me finally start to get a couple things going for me. It just sucks that it took me 9 holes to, and like I mentioned, like if you have 2 accounts and you know you make the mistakes on the first account, then you're seeing, I mean, I feel like that's the main reason that you're seeing these guys post these scores so late. Like I always go out, I shoot mine the first morning, but you're seeing these guys, they're coming in like Sunday and doing their round on Sunday. So it's like it's kind of obvious that, you know, that's what they're doing in order to you know, get these low numbers. It's like they're not taking one attempt, they're taking multiple attempts, which, you know, it's fine. It's not really a big deal, but the only thing that I want to comment on more than anything is just, you know, that's kind of just the reason that you're seeing like these tournament scores just getting better and better and better. It has more to do about that because the setup is so standardized. It's like since you already know the course setup, as soon as you end up seeing it, it's just like you're rehearsing, as opposed to just going out and, you know, visualizing, creating shots. It's much easier the second, third time through than it is seeing it for the first time. So let's see, I'm at a 10 wind here. So I think this will be a little bit easier with the Berserker. I'll try to pull out that. It looks like that's coming in pretty nice. Man, it would have been really nice to get that one. That would have been sweet. So it's nice that, you know, I'm getting stuff to kind of come into focus a little bit better this time around. Just took me 9 holes here to, you know, make an adjustment on this round. And it really sucks just, you know, reflecting back and seeing the holes that I threw away. Because 13 under on the front, if I could have just, you know, made just a couple fewer mistakes. I was hoping to go 15, 16. And it's looking like, you know, that potentially could have been enough. But the way that I have it now is I'm going to be probably just a few shots short of winning this thing. So I do want to post 30. So I'm going to hopefully go for this last hole and succeed in getting it. That was the target that I initially at least wanted to be at, and it would suck if the way that I end up doing it is 13 under, 17 under. Will really be frustrating if I end up doing it like that. But I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to hopefully be able to do a very similar shot to what you saw last time, with where you saw me go at it with the dead ball. And you see somebody did post 29 already. They went 26-12, which means we're going to have identical. He's going to end up having me in tiebreaker, but because he shot it earlier. So I'm going to end up losing to him by exact score tie, because I'm pretty sure I had 13. Yeah, and it's so funny. I shot 13 in my opening with a timeout. So without that timeout, I would have out tiebreakered that guy. That's just very annoying. So let's hope, because I'd hate that tiebreaker to come and play on something so stupid like that. Let's hope I'm able to get this one and just fire at least on top of that guy. I don't think I'm going to win it at 30 under, but at least if I post it, I won't lose to a guy, because we have the exact same aggregate score, which is 37 under. Or 38 under, sorry. We both have 38 under right now. And I'd hate a timeout to be the reason that I'm at 38. So if I can get the albatross here, I'll be able to post the minus 30 and at least be the first guy at minus 38 with the aggregate tiebreaker to post that number. So any scores that are minus 38 aggregate, which I'm sure there isn't going to be many, so I don't expect to win too many tiebreakers. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to go out and put up a good number. It's because I knew. I'm actually surprised that that guy has the aggregate same score as me, because it's such a low this is the worst qualifying that I've posted. I've never been this much in the middle of the pack on a tiebreaker. This guy's getting a little aggressive on the trees, but as you see, he is perfectly fine. And this is kind of what I was mentioning. So if you bring that in, I touched on this last round. If you bring that in faster with more topspin, you're going to really bring that bunker into play, because it'll come in and hit more aggressively. And that's why you're seeing me kind of take off and not go, balls to the wall with my full top spin, because I want to make sure that that's not the reason that I screwed this hole up. I don't need it to be super far down there. I just need to get it to my long iron, or my short iron, sorry. And again, what I was touching on before, normal accuracy numbers for claw is 1.5, but since I have a dead ball that has like 10% extra power, you have to account for at least 10 extra percent. So you're going to see me do it with maybe like 1.35 is going to be my adjustment. Yards per ring is what I'm talking. So if the wind's 11, for example, 1.35 is 10 rings, 13.5. So I'll play it like 9 rings, for example, or just a shade under 9. And you saw that guy was really close. You see, I haven't had emojis for this, so. So again, you are seeing me right at the north end of this club. You're going to see me play the same MO, which you usually see. And that's going to be my landing zone. Same thing like I'm saying, and I'm going to just tilt it just to the right like I've been mentioning. I'm going to play it shade under 9 rings probably. And there it is. Look at that. Unbelievable. I really, really hate this back 9 that I put it all together like this and played so poorly on the front. I'm so frustrated. And this is one of the best rounds that there ever was on a 9. And I didn't put it together at all. Like 13, 17. It's crazy. It's crazy. It just blows my mind. And the fact that back 9 on 11, I sat on the lip, and this back 9 should have been 18 under. I feel like there's no way that ball should have stopped, even though it was uphill. When it's downwind like that, that wind should have made it kick just ever so slightly forward into the cup. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and post this for you guys. Feel free to comment or, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hopefully you find this video useful. Hopefully you find that new wind trick that I talked about in that last back 9. I just recently started figuring out that little wind adjustment trick to where it seems to be coming in kind of perfect, and you really saw me kind of executing it very well on the back. So if you can kind of hone in on my back 9, and as soon as I start talking about that little wind correction where you see that I'm not putting it exactly straight and then pulling it down, I'm tilting it ever so slightly inward. The direction north and south. So I've been doing it north and south adjustments to where I'll bring it in ever so slightly to where it pulls back more or adds just a tiny bit more. And it seems to be way more precise with the way the wind is playing like that. So just something to keep in mind. See if you guys can play around with it. See if you can kind of figure out, get an understanding and a feel for it. If you have any other comments or questions for me, feel free to respond to my video. And good luck with your tournament scores, guys.